time, and nothing has gotten better. If anything, it's gotten worse, I would say. So again, I wish that the people in day surgery would have listened to what I said. And even when I came back, you know, that's the only answer that people have for pain is pain medication. So, you know, if they could have given me another option, give it to me, but they don't have another option. So sending me home was not the right thing. And really, in the last 10 years, nobody has listened to me about anything. I finally have a good doctor who, I mean, he's very good, but I don't even know if he believes that it's, you know, that I'm sick because of going septic, because nobody knows about it.
So it's caused a chronic fatigue and chronic pain syndrome.
Oh, yeah, totally. And fatigue is like, oh, like I said, like even to shower, like it feels like a workout. I feel like even now, like I used to be able to shower and blow dry my hair, like for example, and put makeup on. Now, like I showered last night, you know, when I have to lay down to wait and blow dry my hair for, you know, an hour later, then do my makeup this morning, which I don't even do. My arms are so messed up to just everywhere. Like I can't take care of my house, you know, it's affected every part of my life. And I just wish people would have listened. And that I wish that people would still listen. I'm grateful to come here and talk about it.
So what you originally had then was a laser ablation, and accidentally during the surgery then your bowels were cut. So that's what caused the sepsis. So then the bowel contents leaked into her belly, and that's what led to the whole sequelae of events. Yeah, she burnt like straight through it. And then there was 2 other dusky areas, they said, and they took, however, like just the whole part out because it was all, you know, instead of taking 3 pieces or whatever, because they didn't want the other part to open or whatever. So they took a large piece out. Yeah. And I guess even after, it didn't stop my periods either. So I remember, the whole reason why I went, I remember the first time I got my period, which was like months after because my body was so messed up. I remember getting it and just sitting on the toilet like bawling my eyes out because I was like, really? Like after all this? And it didn't even do what it was supposed to do, you know? So then I had a hysterectomy a few years ago. And I bled out because of my bleeding disorder. And I swear that I had sepsis again because I had a 12-centimeter abscess and nobody listened to for like 3 or 4 months.
Well, and that is also one of the, when you've been septic, the risk of becoming septic again or getting infections is the average of that is very big.
Yeah.
So and the more we read about post-sepsis syndrome, any little thing can cause another big infection or for people to go septic. And you know, that and they live in constant fear that any little thing is going to cause another bout of sepsis. And I don't know. I don't think her body could take another bout of sepsis, but
no.
But yeah, the ablation was it was called a microwave ablation, which is a fairly new procedure back then, 10 years ago. And who knows? I mean, accidents happen, and whether it's carelessness or just the luck of the draw, but they said the tool that she was using malfunctioned and didn't warn her. It was supposed to have an alarm when it went through a certain thickness of tissue. So apparently it was not working properly. So she burned right through the uterus, right through the small bowel. And in the one spot was the big part, and then on both sides of the main burn. And because she was in so much pain in day surgery, but they just said, you know, because she has her medication for her pancreatitis, her tolerance is very high, and so they said, oh, you've had lots of medication already. We've already given you this much fentanyl, and, you know, just go to sleep and let it work. But I mean, she went home and she was still in as much pain as when she'd come out of surgery, but they never did. The nurses never said, you know, maybe something is not quite right. We should call the doctor back and say, you know, maybe we could investigate more, because they told her the pain should not be any more than your normal menstrual cramp pain. So yeah, I mean, and of course, what's the, you get the little care plan saying if you have this and this and this, come back to emerge. Well, she had increased pain. She had, you know, she couldn't pee. Her stomach was already distended when she came back to emerge. And she told them that she had had the ablation the day before. And the main focus of the doctor was that he phoned her family doctor
and the pharmacy to see what meds I was on,
to see how many pills she'd had ordered for her pancreatitis.
And because I had had a surgery a year before that where they took my gallbladder out, that they didn't need to take my gallbladder out too.
That's another big
but yeah,
story,
I'm saying, like, that's another reason why I was also on pain meds and because of my pancreatitis. So he didn't phone anybody that was of any use. And I mean, even all the times that I've had pancreatitis attacks since I was 15, almost every time that I've gone, they've done an ultrasound. You know, like, they could have just done a simple ultrasound and they would have seen that my bowel was leaky. You know, like, it would have been a totally different story had they even, again, in day surgery, had they have listened to what I said. And like I said, that's still my issue, is people don't listen. Nobody listens to what I say until I'm like pretty much dead, and then it's like, oh, you were telling us the truth. Like, why would I come and, you know, why would I waste my own time? And like, I also have urinary tract infections all the time, like, constantly, which again is another thing that every time I read about sepsis, it's like, that's one of the main things. So, you know, which I didn't know about. Like, I'm only even learning about lots of things from going septic in the last 2 years, because I mean, I knew it was from that because I live it, you know, I knew what it was from. But again, and I've joined a Facebook group too that have gone septic. I think there's only like one other lady in Canada, but there's like maybe 200 and some members, and this is like worldwide. It's not like, you know, there's nobody that you can even talk to that even remotely understands where you're coming from. Like I said, I've lost all my friends because nobody thinks, you know, that you should be sick for that long. I can't go out and do things that normal 35-year-olds or 25 at the time can do. So it's just, there's just so many things that it's affected.
And then you had to raise 2 children on top of all that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And even more, because I mean, like I said, I wasn't able to work outside my home, so I would take in kids too. Like, I've raised lots of kids, and that's what I say. I have done a lot, you know, and like, for people to be like, oh, well, you haven't worked, it's like, that's an insult to me, you know, because I've worked my ass off for one, and everything that I've been through on top of it, like, most people couldn't get out of bed and do, you know, like I see people who, or even again on Facebook, for example, which I wasn't on for years, it's like, oh, I have a cold, I've been sick for 3 days now, I just want to die. And it's like, I've been sick for 10 years, like every single day of my life, there's literally not one day that I have felt normal or even remotely close to like, oh, I could go and do this. Like my brain, and that's what I said too, I wish it would have affected my brain, because I still am totally in, you know, like I get everything and I want to do things, and I look at my house that's a mess and it's like, I want to go and do this, but my body can't do it, and it's just frustrating, to put it mildly.
And the thing is we talked about this before, not many people that have lived to tell that story about sepsis, right? That's why probably the medical profession doesn't believe so much, because 10 years ago, it was unheard of really for people to survive their episodes of sepsis, of severe sepsis and septic shock. And because 15 years ago, we had that drug called activated protein C that actually prolonged, you probably didn't get it because of your bleeding disorder, but that helped more people survive with sepsis and detecting it early and getting better antibiotics. So now more and more people are surviving with sepsis, and we haven't heard the stories often enough.
Yeah.
Right, so I think it's just amazing that you're here and visible and telling your story, and we should all get shirts that say sepsis.
Thanks. I just had gotten it online, so, and I haven't worn it. I got it a while ago, and I had thought about wearing it because, again, I don't really go to many places, and most people are like, exactly. So I'm like, and then to try and explain it, I'm like, okay.
All get shirts like that on National Sepsis Day.
Yeah, and that too, even having National Sepsis Day, like, it's so, but it's so nice to just have it be recognized that like, no, I'm not crazy, this isn't in my head, this is, you know, and I knew that I wasn't. It's not that I didn't think I was crazy, but I know a lot of other people probably thought that I have been, and even that is frustrating, you know, because again, you can't talk to anybody about it that understands at all, like, and again, it's not like I don't want to talk about it every day, that's not what I want, but I live it every day, so, you know, to be able to just talk to someone that understands, it would be nice, you know. I said, and even on the computer, like, I can't type, I don't even have a computer, so I have my phone, so it's like, you know, I don't want to sit there, like, it hurts, everything hurts, so it's like, even that is like,